This program airs statewide on California Public Television and is a California's Gold classic. Hi, I'm Huell Hauser, and that is good old Union Pacific number 4466. Built back in 1920, it's a coal-fed steam locomotive, and it's headquartered here at the California State Railroad Museum in Sacramento, and takes these excursion trips about 3.5 miles round trip on a track that runs right up beside the Sacramento River. Well, it would be the understatement of all time to say that railroads played a large role in the development and growth of the West, especially California. What we're going to do on this particular adventure is pay tribute to the railroads, but we're going to do it without riding on a train. And if this piques your interest in how we're going to pay tribute to the railroads, how we're going to ride the rails and never get on a train, well, as always, you're invited to come along with us as we continue, this time riding the rails in search of California's gold. You know, there are so many neat things to see inside our state's Railroad Museum. Located in Old Sacramento, it is filled with historic railroad memorabilia, especially old engines. There's a lot to learn when you visit this museum. But as usual, we like to take a little different slant on things. So for the first part of this rail adventure, we ended up outside the museum, looking at a much more obscure, but nonetheless very important part of our state's rail history. Now I'm standing here with Ranger Stu Macy from the State Railroad Museum here in Sacramento, and our subject is handcars. What is the exact terminology? Is that the right way to say it? Handcars? It's just that simple?
It's that simple. That's it.
Okay, now tell us a little bit about the history behind these handcars, because actually the history of the handcar is intertwined with the history of the railroad.
Very definitely. The handcar originally started out, or is, a maintenance of way, a piece of equipment. In other words, it transported the men who kept the tracks aligned, replaced the ties, or worked on the signals, that type of thing. It got tiring just carrying these picks and aligning bars by hand. So again, human nature being what it is, they said, there's got to be an easier way. And so they developed actually several different types of transportation to get the men and equipment out to where the work needed to be done.
Okay, we've got the first one right here, which would have been from what era?
Well, basically this type of thing existed ever since man put two rails next to each other and decided to transport themselves on. This is typical of early 1800s.
And show us how it works, because boy, it's about as simple as it gets, isn't it?
It's a push car. There are a couple of ways of operating this. Early on, depending on the size of the car, you get, in this case, two people, and they just push themselves along, kicking on the tracks or on the ties as they went along. Now that was great on level track, but going uphill it got tough. Going downhill was even more exciting, because then you're dragging your feet and you know, probably busting up a bunch of shoes on the way. Could have been an exciting ride, I imagine, if the hill was very steep. They also developed other ways of doing this. They used a pole, got their heels off the ground. Again, they get up on the push car and they could pole themselves along, much like...
Wait a minute, I want to get on this thing.
Well, get up here then. Okay.
All right, so you would just stand here.
And you could pole yourself down the tracks.
But that took a lot of strength to do that.
That took a lot of strength, yeah. You could have a couple of folks doing it. And again, problem with uneven surfaces, it got pretty tough.
Yeah.
You could drag the pole to try and give yourself a break, but again, not the safest means of doing it.
Now, how many men could they get on one of these things?
Well, again, they built them different sizes. You could easily get 4 people on, but typically 2 people would use this with their tools laid out like we have here.
Okay, now we go to example. You brought out some of your great historic old handcars here from the Railroad Museum to show us. This one looks very strange to me.
This is
Looks
a
almost
velocipede.
like a bicycle.
Yeah, it is, and that's basically the design. In fact, one of the things becoming popular these days, and you can see them advertised in catalogs, is a bicycle with an outrigger on it that now, again, today, you can modify your bicycle to go on railroad tracks, especially some of the abandoned, in fact, hopefully the abandoned railroad tracks. This was typical. Again, guy got tired of pushing the cart, maybe he fell off a few times, didn't like it, said there's got to be a better way. And so he came up with a lever type of action car.
Now, how would this have been used? It doesn't look very practical. Only one guy could ride it at a time.
Well, this could be used, again, for small jobs.
Wait a minute, I'm going
Yeah.
backwards.
Wait a second, you're
Now,
gonna
how
run me
did that
over here.
happen?
Where are you going to go here? You stopped it on the on one of the strokes and ended up going back the other way. Let's go. You
Wow. Now, see, this isn't even...
gotta keep it rolling is the thing. You stop, and you, especially if you stop on a dead spot, you could end up
What
going
do you
the
mean
other
a
way.
dead spot?
Well, just the way the thing's set up with the gears. At the end of the stroke, there's kind of a little thing that you need to be moving to get past that spot to get, see, right there.
Okay, so now I don't know what to do.
Well,
What if I want to go this way?
You put your foot down and push, and get you going one way.
Oh, okay, there we go. Oh!
And that's what we were talking about, derailing when you go backwards.
Now, would they have done that?
Yeah, they went backwards, sure.
So I just recreated
You just
history.
recreated history, yeah.
Boy, I tell you what, that's going to be a historical pain on my tailbone, too. Now, these are the kind that you see them in the old movies. When you think of handcars on railroads, you think of these things. This is basically your traditional handcar, right?
This is a traditional handcar. Around 1850s, 1860s, you started to see this type of handcar appearing. This one was used by the Santa Fe Railroad around 1900s.
Really? So
That's
this
it.
actual handcar is almost 100 years old.
Very close to it now, yes.
Wow. And
Very
it
close to it.
operates, can we get up here and
Sure, sure.
try to, how does
Now
this?
again, with the velocipede, you can see it would go either way.
Yeah.
Also with a handcar, it'll go either way. So we'll kind of give it a little push. Maybe Dick will move the velocipede down just a tad. So we're going in the right direction.
What?
And then,
So it's
just by pulling up on the bar and pushing down on the bar,
yeah.
you go right along the tracks.
Yeah.
And again, a lot faster, a lot
Boy.
easier.
These things it's not as easy as it looks though, is it? But it operates under a pretty easy, Now how do we go back the other way?
Okay.
Oh,
And here we go.
just whichever way you push it.
That's correct. That's correct.
Now how hard is it to stop it? Because
Well, there is a brake on these. Because if you get going very fast, hey, you got it right off. All right. If you get going very fast, you're not going to stop this bar.
Yeah.
And you can break fingers, break wrists, and so on. Very easy.
You know what? It's part of the lore of the railroad, isn't it?
Very definitely. Very definitely.
What is it, do you think, about them that so capture the imagination of all of us?
I think it was the working man that actually ran the handcar is what captured the imagination. Again, these were the guys with the picks, with the aligning bars, went out and worked all day in the sun, long hours, and kept the railroads going.
Yeah. So this was for them.
This is for them.
And the final challengers in the Open Novice Division, American River Fire Department, is now coming down the track. And the Dragon Slayers at 26:35 is the team. And here they come, American River and 29:15.
Huell, I'd like to welcome you to the 14th annual U.S. National Handcar Races here in Old Sacramento.
Okay, now how did this get started? What's the purpose of these races?
Well, we really don't have a lot of historical documents talking about handcar races, but we're sure that as these track gangs, these maintenance away gangs would go out, that there was probably some side bets made as they were out with their hand cars. And there were a few races going on out there historically, and we thought we'd kind of bring these back.
So you think that in former days, when these railroad guys were out in the middle of nowhere and they saw some open track and they had a little bit of spare time on their hands, there might have actually been racing among real railroad guys?
Probably some spare time and spare change and a few side bets, yeah, and I'm sure of it.
And today it has grown into something quite serious, hasn't it?
We've got some very serious competitors that come out here. We've got teams from Alaska, from Utah, from Nevada, Texas, all over the western U.S. that come out here and compete.
Technique in this involves strength and endurance, a lot of endurance. It's coming down there, to get toward the end, you think you're going to hit that wall and you just got to keep going to get to the finish line. It takes a lot of endurance.
And so how do you do this? Show me how it...
Well, you get down like this and you got the bar coming here. At first you're trying to get your legs and your arms and your shoulders into it. As you get going, then you're getting like sawing a horse, sawing wood. You're going like this, moving as fast as you can go and faster and faster, just like a train when it picks up speed.
And how fast do you think you all are going out there?
50 miles an hour.
You've seen these teams come and go. Is
Right.
there a correct way to do this?
What I've been told, I don't race, so what I've been told is that when you take off, you got to get your knees into it. You got to pull with that bar. You got to put 1 foot in front, 1 foot out here, or if you're on the other side of the bar where the bar's coming down, you don't want that bar hitting you in the kneecap because it'll blow your knee out, okay? So you're going like this, okay? You got those knees pulling you up. Once you get going and get the speed up, then you're going to go like this, okay? Change over to your arms, okay?
And what don't you want to do?
You don't want to flap your wings, for one thing, okay? You don't want to take off like this because you're not, but halfway down there, you're going to be so tired, you're going to fall over the bar.
Ready on the car! Get set! Go! Ah! The unsung hero, the pusher, and you really let out quite a yell there when you pushed.
It just helps things go much faster.
Can you do that for us again?
Ah! That good enough?
Here we go. Ready on the car! Get set! Go!
Drive the bar! Drive the bar! Drive the bar! Use your legs! Use your legs!
Now, how important is the pusher?
Well, it's like if I didn't get them started, they wouldn't go anywhere, basically. I don't do a whole lot per se, but or any pusher for that matter, because we just kind of lay down on the job. But without us, they're not going to be able to do what they just did.
And every second counts at the beginning.
Every thousandth of a second. They're the next team up. We have beaten them by like 2,000ths of a second, and vice versa. So the push and the start is very, very important, and of course everything else that goes with the rest of the race. So.
Yeah, so it really is a team effort, even though you stay here.
Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, I do the easy part, and they do the hard part, but it is a team effort between all 5 of us.
Yeah, well, good luck.
Thank you.
Boy, I wasn't prepared for all that yelling you were doing.
Well, that's the only thing I could do down here.
1, 2, 3, go!
Okay, come on.
Ready on the car!
Ready!
Get set! Now, what's the technique? How do you perfect this to get as good as you guys are?
Just go, go, go. There's no...
Why are you all laughing?
It's rhythm. It's rhythm, teamwork, and just perseverance, pushing
Now,
hard and going.
Talk about rhythm. How important is it, how hard is it to stay coordinated so that the top two are pushing when the back two are pulling?
It's real, there's a fine line, and if you get out of sync, you start fighting each other, and you can definitely feel the difference. When you get down here, it's really, you're about done when you get down here.
Where do you start wearing out on this track?
If this track is roughly 700 feet, right at 600 feet, you start dying.
Really?
Yeah.
You're running on luck, the last 100 feet, and just emotion, just going for it. The crowds really help too. Cheering people on really help.
Yeah.
That's where the competitive edge, that's where that takes over, and you got to start going because you want to compete, you want to get #1.
So what you're saying though is this should be a 600 foot race instead of a 700.
600 feet would benefit us. Yeah, definitely.
You need your swimming cap, you need your goggles, especially on rainy days. They told me to cut a half second off, and we cut 2 seconds off, so
Really?
it worked.
All because of that.
All because she's wearing the hat.
Of course.
Do you think that the railroaders used to actually do stuff like this back in the old days?
Not with swimming caps.
Donnie Jones, Chip Jones, Gene Jones on the car for the Jones Boys and Company.
The next part of our rail adventure takes us way up north to one of the prettiest parts of our state. That's Mount Shasta dead ahead. Our destination was the picturesque little town of McCloud, and on this particular weekend, McCloud was celebrating their annual Heritage Days. We were there because we'd been invited to participate in a meet. 2 days riding the rails, not on a train, but on wonderful little motorized vehicles called railcars. Well, it is 7:30 in the morning. It's a beautiful morning. We're here at the railroad yards. Doug, what's going to happen here today?
Well, we have an excursion. This is a motor car club. It's Motor Car Operators West. We're basically based in California. We have about 250 members. We try to have about 8 to 10 runs per year. Most of these cars were maintenance of way vehicles used by Southern Pacific and Union Pacific for maintenance of track and inspection of track.
Let's go down and take a look at them, because most people don't realize that people like you exist that collect these little things and use these little things.
Yeah, these were surplused pretty recently, about the past 4 years. They've been replaced by high rail vehicles, which are basically pickup trucks that have been equipped with special flanges that run in the front and the back, and they have special rims that bring the tires in so they can ride on top of the railhead.
So these now are out of date.
Yeah, some of these are pretty historic. This here's a gang car, you know, that could carry about 6 people. More common on these cars, they're about 2 and 3 people.
Now what's going to happen today? We're going to get on these little, you call them speeders, right?
Yeah, speeders, but more commonly we call them rail cars, motor cars, track cars. We're going to go for just the sightseeing excursion. We're going to have a safety meeting where we explain, you know, the safety things that we try to emphasize so no one has an accident. We usually pair up in twos. We have an operator that is going to control the thing as we go up. We're going to go to Mount Shasta today, and we're going to go out to Bernie, have a barbecue lunch.
So this is going to be an old-fashioned excursion.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of an excursion. It's kind of like a wagon train since we're all in line. This is really kind of a unique interest. There is a national club, Narcoa, that covers the entire nation, but this is our local club that's primarily covering California, Nevada, Oregon, Washington, some parts of Nevada.
So is this a big deal to come on one of these things?
Well, for us, yeah, it takes a lot of work getting these cars, you know, in mechanically good shape, and most people look forward to this particular one because we have these vista views of Mount Shasta in the background.
Over here. There's where we're heading. And that is quite a view right there of Mount Shasta, right in front of us.
We've got it all polished up, special for the trip. Want you to know, so we even put some chrome on it for this trip.
Wait a minute, where's the chrome?
Well, we have chrome right here.
Oh, right in the front.
Right there.
So
yeah.
this is a fancy car.
It's supposed to be a fancy car. It's a toy.
I
mean, it's not something that you just do for a living, would you?
Yeah. Well, tell me about yours. What year, what model is this?
This is from the late 70s, early 80s, and this is different from this car in that this car is a 2-seater inspection vehicle where the track maintenance people would go out and go along the tracks and inspect for damage. Then this car is a light maintenance vehicle, and this would normally carry 4 to 6 people. They would load their tools on this thing, then go to the spot and fix the track that they found that was damaged.
Boy, you all know every one of these things. You can tell me the date, what it was used for, where it was made, where it was used. You all are
Well,
serious about this.
Yeah, we are, and but it's fun too. We're not fanatics about it, but it's interesting though to research the history and find out about what railroad had your car and what they used it for and stuff like that.
Well, Denny's got a car here. This is a Kalamazoo, and this is like the only one I've ever seen, and he's done a lot of work to it to get it running decent. And up here in the altitude, it really tests it. Plus the grades that we're going to meet here. Denny's done a lot of work on this car.
The Kalamazoo.
This is a Kalamazoo, right? There's only 2 of them that I know in this club, and this is the only one that really runs really good.
You're cranking it up.
Yeah.
Is that how you get it started?
That's how you get this one started.
By cranking it?
Yeah.
You want to do that again for us, just to give us the effect?
Yes, I will. See if I get it going this time.
Oh, it hadn't started yet, so you...
Okay.
Oh, it's going.
Okay. Here we go.
Now this is the car we're going to be riding on, right?
Yep.
Are you sure we're going to... It's smoking a lot.
It's a 2-cycle engine.
Oh.
Yep. Use a little mixed fuel in there.
Are you sure we're going to make it all the way up to Mount Shasta?
It's made it 3 times before.
Oh, okay, good.
No problem. Might get a little hot and boil over a little bit, but it's going to make it just fine.
Well, that's all part of the excitement, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Boy, this is great. Now, who first came up with the idea that these things were neat enough to collect and ride in like you all are doing?
I guess as long as people love railroads, people have always wanted to get out here and do this. And as the history goes in Mo, they had the first bootleg speeder car happened years and years ago. I mean, 50, 60 years ago, a guy just got out and got one of these old cars and just set out there on an active railroad and took off.
Went on a joyride.
Went on a joyride. Since then, we've gotten legitimate and we've gotten very safety oriented, and we actually, this weekend, we're actually paying a fee to the railroad here, and they're allowing us to tour their railroad.
Yeah. So the idea is the club uses different railroads and goes and has these excursions, gets out on the track and sees a different part of the state.
That's exactly what we do, and this is probably the most beautiful. And other ones, we go to the Sierra Railroad, and a few months ago they went from the trip from Willits to Eureka and back, then from Willits over to Fort Bragg. And they're always coming up with new runs. Next week they're going out to Nevada, and if a guy was retired, he could go out and do this every week.
Now we're really moving now.
We're going about 20, 25 miles an hour, making some time now.
Is this about as fast as it'll go, about 25 miles an hour?
This is about as fast as I feel comfortable going with it on this kind of track. It'll probably go maybe a little over 30 if I really turn it loose.
Well, these things really weren't built for speed, were they?
No, I think they had a little more time back then. And 20, 25 miles an hour with 4 guys sitting there. They probably have their morning coffee before they get to the work site anyway.
Uh-oh, we're stopping.
Looks like we got a breakdown. This is part of the game, though. It's kind of fun.
A breakdown?
Yep. Yeah, you got the hood lifted up there. It's on the car carrying the colors today.
Okay, let's go. What's happened?
Well, his chain has broken, or at least come off the sprockets.
His chain is broken.
Chain? These are chain driven.
Uh-huh.
So if the chain isn't on the sprocket, then you're not going to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So it's come off the sprocket, and they're going to try to get it back on. Otherwise, the guy in front of him is going to need to come back and tow him up the hill.
Also, everybody helps each other out.
We're all required to have a tow hitch. We've got one on the front of our car.
Uh-huh.
Everyone has to have a tow hitch and a tow bar, so that if the guy in front of you breaks down, you can push him, or he can pull you, or whatever you need to have happen.
And everybody is probably sympathetic because but by the grace of God.
You got it. I think your major fear is that you'll be 30 miles from home, something will break, and no one will have the right part. I think that's really everybody's biggest fear.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Well, we may all have to get out and push instead. Got good, strong shoulders?
Well, you got it fixed in 5 minutes. I just...
5 minutes, thank you guys.
I just hate everybody here travels so far to make this run, and we have a 5-minute rule so everybody isn't waiting. But if you travel this far, I hate to have them put a tow bar on and have to tow them, you know?
You're off! You made it!
Thank you!
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. There it goes. Whoa!
Okay. It's okay, relax. Just go ahead. It takes a while to get the handles of it. Let's go.
Whoa, we're off. And they're off. There they go. They're fixed. The trip continues.
These are a gas. The first time I ran, I got in a car and I was hooked from that point on. And I pulled an older car out of a field and I was reworking it, and right now I think there's 8 or 9 of them in my driveway now. And it's infectious. Once you get in there and go out there, you don't have to steer these things, so you can kind of look around as you're going.
I wonder how many of the old railroad guys would have ever thought that this would have been a fun thing instead of just work.
If you look around, we got a bunch of little old railroad guys right with us today.
Yeah.
And wannabe railroad guild guys. And something about railroads, it just attracts people, and it's just exciting. And I guess only in America you can run your own train.
Well, this was fun, wasn't it? And as we end our rail adventure, we salute the men and women of our state who are helping to keep its rich rail heritage alive. Because both the handcars and the motor cars are fine examples of California's gold.
Heated up open division competition gets underway. Los Muchachos Gordos, California.
Well, hello everybody, I'm Huell Hauser, and I sure hope you enjoyed this adventure. If you'd like to see it again or share it with your family or friends, all you have to do is call 1-800-266-5727, and we'll be glad to send it to you right away.